Jimmy Patterson, one of the richest guys in Canada,
Yeah.
he's sold his piece of land, or he's
Yeah.
actually traded it to the city to connect the walkway for the seawall, and
Okay.
he's selling his house for $1.
What's the main reason I'm actually even here today for this podcast is because we know if we leave you two alone, the conversation goes sideways.
He's like, maybe you guys should do your real estate thing. I'm like, man, if we start talking about whatever, like our conversations, and he tells me, he's like, dude, sometimes we're just on the phone so long, like don't even know, 2-3 hours. And what the hell did we talk about?
Yeah.
What did we accomplish?
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. No, man. We're not going to talk about this, but we end up talking about the same thing again.
Yeah. Because we're always planning about business or how to market a little bit better in his business and my business.
Yeah.
We're pretty much doing the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So actually, I want to transition to something. So maybe you guys might have heard of it, but Jimmy Patterson, one of the richest guys in Canada, he's sold his piece of land, or he's actually traded it to the city to connect the walkway for the seawall, and he's selling his house for $1. And the catch is that you can't demolish the house. If you're buying the house for $1, you're actually scooping it up and you're moving it to another plot of land. And and the land itself is being donated because there's 1 or 2 more houses left in front of the waterway that needs to be used to connect the final path. So you don't just have to get off the path to go around the house. You can actually just continue on the path, right? So with a house like that, it's 80 or 90 years old. What are we doing? Where are we moving this thing? Also, Jimmy Patterson, he didn't just give the land to City of Vancouver for free. He actually got something in return.
I wouldn't think that you would.
Another plot of land. The city, a plot of land that the city owns.
A better plot.
Well, it's better. Well, it's a fair trade. I'm thinking about it. It's like the game of Monopoly. The city needs to trade Boardwalk. Probably gave him Baltic or something, or St. James Place.
You know the squares.
Monopoly? Yeah, I played it the other just like a couple days ago.
You know the names of the Monopoly board?
No, I don't.
That's how you know he's in real estate. He knows the names like Baltic. What?
Not now. Not now.
I'm thinking if he tried to sell that to the city, it would fetch millions and millions of dollars because that's what city needs to kind of finalize the piece. So I'm kind of curious as to what he's picking up. But my thought process was like, okay, if somebody buys this for $1, they obviously have to relocate this entire house.
Yeah.
You know, from your inspection, and you have like building experience as well, what are they actually doing to relocate a house? And the connections and the pipes and the electrical work.
Possible?
It is. They do it in the States.
So even like down the street from my house, what they do is they're not even tearing the house down. They're actually just have the houses on concrete blocks. They'll come pick the house. Just the foundation's got to be there. They set the house back down on there, right? So
I'm guessing the house was built on a slab. It's about 70,
it doesn't need to be.
No,
it doesn't need to be.
It's like surgery on a house.
No.
Yeah.
No. The foundation.
And then lift and move the house.
So they've pretty much picked the house up from the foundation, put it on blocks, and then they're gonna take that house elsewhere, wherever it is, and they're just gonna use the same idea, put the house back down, right?
That's super interesting.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
So again, they come pick. You know how you would pay for excavation. Some of these companies, I shouldn't say a lot. I even actually met a realtor. He's a builder. He's like, they'll come
big enough?
So he's like, they will just come pick your house up for free.
Yeah.
They'll do it for free.
A prefab house ready to go.
Yeah, they'll pick it up for free.
Have to fit.
Yeah. I don't know where these houses are going, but they'll pick it up for free.
Yeah. It was just interesting to know that for the city to kind of bypass having to pay taxes.
Yeah.
Property taxes and all that, and the exchange of deeds. Yeah. All he did is he swapped pieces of land, and he's selling the house for $1. Yeah. And that overcomes the entire objection of who's paying the taxes. Yeah. And it's he's doing it for the public. He's not doing it for himself or making money. Yeah. But I'm just wondering, like, what kind of plot of land he's getting after that sale.
I'm sure, like, when you said to me he's giving it for free or to the city, I'm like, there's gotta be something.
That's the catch.
The thing is, it could be a donation. Like, I see it as like I think he's old. I don't know him.
He's 92, 93 years old.
What's he gonna do with this land in a few years? If he's lucky, he gets a few more years and he's gone. And his kids have it, and then what? They've got so much money. I actually would like to see him donate it.
that'd be nice.
So it's done. The transaction's done now. Whoever picks up the house, I guess in Vancouver, if you go there, you'll probably see somebody moving this yellow house along the street.
Is it like a proper like mansion? Or like a...
No. It's like one of those like Vancouver specials.
He lived in that?
Like heritage homes.
He lived in that, and he had it rented. It's right on the waterfront. It's why he never gave it up, because he would actually just go there just to hang out. I mean, outside of his, I don't know how many $1 million of a house he has. He's one of the richest guys in Canada, right? So that was interesting. So what's the next step after your business?
After my business,
what do you got planned for the end of the year, for the new year?
New Year's. So as
getting married.
No.
That's what his mom would say.
That's what my mom would say.
Why do you gotta do that, man?
Everybody's gotta come up. Because I went to his mom's place. Awesome place. View of downtown.
Out in Vancouver. Yeah.
Oceanfront view.
Auntie's super nice. Everybody, all the kids visit her.
One, I ate so much food. I haven't ate that much food since. Seriously, I kid you not.
Yeah.
Two, the conversation was, Sahil needs to get married.
I think that's a conversation that'll probably never die, man.
Yeah.
I think when the time is right, it'll happen. I always look for ways to just get better, and the right person will come along. For me, it's whenever, even though, to answer your question, even though I started home inspections, my idea was just always get into development building. So that's my goal. That's what I want to do. That still is my goal.
And you have a shoe in for it with your brothers.
So my brother and I work together, younger brother and I. So it's good. It's good. I always say I'm pretty lucky, like where my brother and I are able to work together, right? So like any brotherhood, like there are issues, but like for the most part, that bond is there.
You understand each other.
Yeah.
You guys ever get into it?
Of course, man. We were three brothers.
Oh man, yeah.
We still are. We're three brothers. So we were, three brothers it's growing up.
Right?
Yeah.
But you know what, like, again, I wouldn't, if I were to go back in my life, I wouldn't do it in any other way, because it's brought a different type of bond in our relationship today. Even with my older brother, he's got two beautiful daughters, like, I dearly love. But again, those two girls have made my relationship so much better with him, right? Which is nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
That's probably how you'd feel being a dad.
Yeah.
Pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm a dad right now, man.
It's practice.
You know what's funny? Since you got the dog, I've been actually looking up into like dog things that we'll talk about it. Like, yo, how's the dog behaving this time? I'm like, I think I read something on the internet for absolutely no reason.
I've been tempted by a dog several times, but I'm like, man, I can't even take care of it.
Honestly, I when I bought him, I didn't think he was going to be this much work.
It's a lot of work.
But it's a lot of work, and I think he's good. He sleeps at night. I usually wake up by 5:36. This guy wakes up at 5, but I go to sleep at 8:30. This guy won't go to sleep till 10, but I'll put him to bed, But he doesn't like cry at night. He'll sleep. If I leave him in there for too long, which we probably shouldn't at this age anyways, then he would cry for sure, right? So, but he's good for the most part.
Yeah, I'm curious. If we're talking about business, in business, your nature, you're not very competitive. You're not very like.
Yeah.
Maybe you are, and maybe I'm misunderstanding. But for me, I've channeled this warrior, which is that drive, like going after things.
Yeah.
For you, I see again. This is back to my observation earlier, where you're very cool, calm, collected.
Yeah.
Versus me, who's very like, let's get after it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So talk about how that has affected your business in good or bad ways.
Yeah.
And then talk about why that's the way. Is it intentional, or is that just who you are?
I think again, when I was first starting out, I was in a lot of debt, like left my company. But I was going out giving my cards to everybody. I'm like, hey, call me for an inspection. The more I realized, the more I asked for work, the less work I got. But the more people got to know me, my personality, and me without even asking for work, the work just started pouring in itself, right? So that was the biggest thing for me. For me, it's just what's worked for me is just trying to be myself, even on my social media. Why be somebody else, right? So again, You know, and also the knowledge, me working for another company has helped me quite a bit, right? So, so those are the biggest things for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's the exact opposite. Like I have to intentionally be cool, calm, collected.
Yeah.
But I'm like super competitive.
You know what the funny thing is? People always ask me, like, you have all these people working for you. They're gonna, you know, aren't you scared that they're gonna leave one day? I'm like, not really. I left one day. You know, everybody has the right to leave one day, start their own thing. Totally. But like, I think I did them a favor. I helped them along the way, and you know, from those best wishes, I will get further ahead, right? I'm not worried about. Yeah, because a lot of them are worried, oh, they'll take my work. Yeah. But like, you know, if your work is good enough, nobody's going to take your work.
If you've built the relationships like you have already, then that style of business is never going to leave you.
Yeah.
Like as many times as I've worked with your guys, I would never say like, if they gave me a call and said, hey, Karn, we want to do an inspection, I'll be like, sorry, man, I'm like, I'm loyal to Sahil just because of what he's done for me in the past, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And that shows.
And I think in any kind of work, if you have the drive, there's enough work out there for everybody.
There's no shortage.
No.
Especially the way when...
Like how many realtors are out there right now?
There's like 20,000 agents.
Right?
In Greater Vancouver, Fraser Valley.
And how many one of those 1% realtors are probably out there? And they're putting on a lot of work themselves where
they are.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them.
There's so many of them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But then I always openly challenge people, if you even have my database, try to convert any one of those guys. I'll just give you $1,000 on top of whatever commission you earn.
Yeah.
And one person actually tried, and he got nowhere with it.
Yeah.
And I ended up listing the property anyways, like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
It was pointless. It's fruitless. If your value is just brought on honesty and truth.
Yeah.
And you actually provide them the value that they need for them to have success in their life.
Yeah.
They're not gonna leave you. They'll always come back.
And the funniest thing is, let's just say if one of my guys did leave and he went after my clients or my database, how far is he going to get? And how far is he going to get with that kind of like personality and attitude?
Yeah.
Right?
So this is kind of a layup, but not because it's meant to be a layup. It's a question I'm curious about. Home inspection, are you seeing the technology change around home inspection?
Not so much. Not so much. You know, there's drones now. A lot of inspectors use for roof. Yeah. But again, if I'm inspecting your $1 million, like the houses are not even $1 million now, let's say a $2 million home, would you want me to go on your roof or would you want the drone to inspect your roof? Right? Is
probably
the question.
You going on.
Exactly. Right? So.
But I think I would trust both. I wouldn't know.
But again, you know, you could use a drone for sure, but there are weather permitting, right? So again, if it's like the amount of rain we get out here, if you're able, I'm not sure. I don't have a drone. I physically go up there, but again, you know, at some point, I'm sure I'll invest in one. But for myself, if I'm buying a home, I'd want to go on the roof myself, have a look, rather than, you know, the drone. Yeah.
It's better when you see it and you touch it, feel it. I'd imagine that helps.
Yeah.
See if it's wearing out, etc.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Now again, through your social media, I've seen just the tools you use, and I hadn't seen that before, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that might just be proximity because I know you and on.
It hasn't changed a whole lot. A lot of the software system has changed where we report our inspections, but tools-wise, it hasn't changed much.
The automation is getting better.
Yeah.
Especially with the reports.
Yeah. It all comes down to reporting, right? The way you report. So reporting, like again, you know, knock on wood, I've never had to deal with a liability where it came back to me ever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, if you have it, they've hammered it into us. If it's in the report, you report well, there's nothing going to come back to you, right? As long as it's in the report. If I say something, that's something out there, but it's not in the report, like I can take you through a walkthrough and tell you it's there, but it's not in the report, that's still not going to stand because you never reported on it, right?
Right.
I have a question. Your branding, is that something, because I know when you were building, you had a big onus over your own branding.
Yeah.
Because I do remember your posts of your logo and the colors.
Yeah.
And you were taking votes, and I don't know if you listened to them, but I just remember.
Yeah.
Clearly. Was that something that you just channeled your creative side, or did you hire a team, or you just wanted to do it your own?
I knew what I wanted. I did obviously have like a graphic designer who designed my stuff, but again, I chose the colors, I chose the fonts, I chose the design.
It's purple and green, I think.
Yeah. So those colors is just because they stand out to me. Yeah. And plus the company that I used to work for, the funny thing is my color, like I built my logo system before I started for another company. And when I started for that company, mine and that company's color scheme was pretty much the same. So I just wanted to do something different. I just wanted to, have a different color scheme. I feel like the green and the purple stands out quite a bit.
Right.
So it was nice.
Is your approach to branding different now, or is it very much the same as what it was?
I think the branding comes with the person. To me, it's a lot to do with the person, how you carry yourself, how you carry your business.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's today they call that personal branding.
Yeah.
Personal brand. You are your company.
And that's the thing about home inspections. So again, I can, you can hire I'm not saying anything about bad about McDonald's, but you can go to McDonald's, I can get hired. Like it's, if you make a burger bad, it's not the end of the world, right? I'm not saying, it's not, but again, you could still get a job. You could still able to work with home inspections. Is you do a bad inspection and that can haunt you for the rest of your life, right? So because it's a person's biggest investment. So you have to really watch who you're hiring onto your company when you're doing an inspection, because it's someone's biggest investment of their life that they'll put all their earnings into it.